as you're working on it, the word combining makes all the difference. I'm taking two different beakers and combining them into something new. So that means that the concentrations are getting like more dilute. Is going to change. You have to recalculate the molarities before you can plug it in. So the pH equals the pKa. I didn't even have a Ka. You have to solve for that. Plus the log of the concentration of the base. I didn't have that because it's new. I'm like adding water to it. You have to solve for that over the concentration of the acid. I didn't have that either. So you have to solve for everything before you can actually plug it into the buffer equation. And that's more of 6 hours. Sorry, I forgot to lead with that. Okay, so part of the requirements for quiz corrections is that you correct your quiz. So please correct your quiz as we go through it. Yeah. And then you'll do your quiz corrections after that, which you already have. So hopefully you didn't take another one. I gave that to you yesterday during lockdown. All right. Number 1. This is cheerleading hands. Explain why Cn minus is the strongest base. It is a conjugate base. So then I can look at my Ka of its acid. If it says it's a base, don't call it an acid. Like it's like, this is an orange, and then you say the apple is orange. No, it's a base. And we know it's the strongest because the conjugate acid is the weakest. It has to multiply to 1.0 times 10 to the negative 14. 1.0 times 10 to the negative 14th equals Ka times Kb. So if they have to multiply it to it, if one's little, the other one has to be big. Okay? What I need you to talk about right now is what does K mean? You have to have like such a good understanding of what a big K means and what a little K means in order to even have a chance of passing the Cume test. So now is a really good opportunity to talk about what a big K means, what a little K means, okay? Ready? Go. But why? Why? Not strong, not weak. Don't even use those words. Good. Well, what does that mean? Good. What does it mean to have a writer? More what? I should be recording this. Oh, I was recording that. Without using the word weak and strong. We have a KC, we have a KP, we have a KSP, we have KA, KB, KW. All the Ks have the same concept. If it's a little k, that means it lies left. Lying left in your brain eyeballs just means that there's lots of things on the left. Concentration, what does concentration mean? Lots of moles of it. What does pressure mean? Lots of ATMs of it, lots of stuff. If it has a, did I say that backward? Okay, if that's a little k. A big K means it lies right. That means that my right side has lots of stuff, lots of moles, lots of pressure. There's more of this than this. This beaker is full. This beaker is not full. For an acid, the right side, thank you, the right side is the H side. That means that there's lots of H's. Lots of H's is a strong acid just because that's the definition of a strong acid. Negative log, low pH. Okay? This times this has to always equal 1.0 times 10 to the negative 14. So they have to be like even Steven beakers, like little big, big little, little big, big little. Okay, but now let's think about math. If this number is big and this number is little and K is this over this, I'm having a big over a little. That math makes a big number, okay? If this is little and this is big, my right is little and my left is big, little numerator, big denominator is going to make like a times 10 to the negative 10, right? The math all works out. You're going to have to, like, this is why the AP test is so hard and QM tests are hard. I'm going to give you something you've never seen before, and you have to apply the K concept to it. It doesn't matter if it's like a random ion that you've never heard of. It could be in a foreign language, but K is always going to be the same idea. Big, little, okay? Number 2, that is a strong base. A strong base completely dissociates. That means that if NaOH is 0.1, the OH is also 0.1 because they even split in half. It's like if you have one cookie and you split it into 2, each person still gets half a cookie, one part. The words for 3, you had to say both. They have a common ion, good, but they also have to be similar molarities in order for it to be a good buffer. And that's so one doesn't run out and I can't make any more water babies. They got to be about the same. Weak acid math on this one. I just looked for what's in the pink box. That's how I could tell if you knew what you were doing. Weak base math. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. 6 is your salt question. It's going to be a basic salt. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's going to be a basic salt because the HF is a weak acid. So you got to solve for Kb, solve for X. X is OH. OH gets a POH. POH can get you pH. There's more than one way to do number 7. This is a shortcut way. Percent ionization equals X over initial. You could have ice tabled it and you got the same answer. It was just a little bit more work. Shortcut is X over initial, and then I can just get my pH from there. 8 we just did on your warm-up, so either you can rewrite it or like stable your warm-up to it, however you want to correct it for that one. I didn't have to do. Your titration curve. I know that this is a weak acid because my equivalence point is above 7. If it was strong and strong, I'd make a neutral salt. Trick question, pH 7. If it's weak and strong, a weak acid, strong base, then I make a basic salt. Bases have a pH of greater than 7. Okay? So that's a weak acid with a strong base. D is the equivalence point. 13, we just did a lab on that, so maybe now you have a little bit better of understanding of it. The half pH, so about halfway. If I were you, I would actually do the tick marks. From 4 to 6 is 2. Each tick mark then is 2/3. So this little tick mark here is 4.7. This little tick mark here is 5.3. So that's about 4.5. I expected 4 point anything, but they're not going to. Some of you need to be a little bit more, is precise the right word? Or accurate, one or the other. The indicator is going to be thymo blue because that's the pKa of the equivalence point. Okay, go ahead for number 15. I know you're going to want to write this, and you can't really like learn and listen at the same time. So go ahead and write that down, and then we'll talk about it. I drew a picture. If I were you, I'd draw a picture. So I knew it was a weak acid. So I just called it a coup, right? Because weak acids are coups, and who knows what it is. I knew it was a strong base. I always just use sodium hydroxide for my strong bases. The sodium doesn't matter, it's just a spectator. The hydroxide jumps in, makes a water baby. So I know water babies are going to be one of my products. That's what I'm going to have. I also know that I'm making a basic salt. I know I'm making a basic salt because the pH is greater than 7. And so I would, if I were you, just call it a basic salt. What's in the pink box would have been an acceptable answer. And then, of course, I have my spectators. Because my basic salt is this A and OH. If it was a weak base instead of a weak acid, when the music starts, can you please just talk about why would that make an acidic salt, water babies, and spectators? Ready? Go. It's going to be below 7. Because acids have, we can skip that. Acids have pH of less than 7. Okay? Yeah. How far? You need this. Okay. Today what you're doing is you have to do your quiz corrections first. You are not ready to do the test review yet. You need to get the basic level understanding to do your quiz corrections first. I know you started working on this, you finished up. If you're done with that, then you can do your test review. The test is a lot harder than the quiz. So if the quiz was a little rough for you, that just means you're not ready for the test yet. It's going to be on Friday. Today is only Wednesday. The test review is very relatable. I had the test next to me, and I read the question, and then I looked for a question, and I copied and pasted it from a different document. And then I looked at the question, and I found one, okay? So how hard the test review is really close to how hard the test is. It's a good review. Tomorrow is Thursday. We have a CUME test Monday. Tomorrow, Thursday, is dedicated to the CUME test. We're going to do a CUME test review. I have a thing for you to do. It's going to be busy doing that kind of stuff. Test Friday, CUME test Monday. Okay? I'd scoochie with somebody. Ready? Go. Everything